Get 3 very different looks from one set of layering stencils. And spring is just 10 weeks away. Coming up next on Catherine Paper Art. In today's video, I am going to be making a couple cards using the Hill Blossoms layering stencil set and die set from Altenew. Now, this layering set is unique because it is seamless and just is so beautiful. And the die set is unique also because it is a no border die, so you don't get any white edge. It cuts right to the edge. And my recommendation is to cut out the image first and then stencil it. And it works much better that way because it can be difficult to cut it out because you don't see really where you're lining it up with this heavy, this solid metal die. So anyway, let's get started. Now you can see, maybe you can see that the stencils are numbered 1 and 2 respectively. I don't know if you can see that. So 2 are the stems and 1 are the flowers. And you get a layering guide in the package with the stencils. But if this is too small for you, you can go onto the Altenew website and they have a full-size one that you can view there. But I have no problem viewing this one. So I am going to start with the flowers, and I will be using some Pink Fresh ink in the sheer freesia and wisteria. And for the third layer, I'll be using hydrangea. So I will just clean my brush off real quickly. I'm using my grip mat also. The first layer that I'm starting with is layer 1, and that'll be in the sheer freesia. So I'll continue doing this off camera, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've finished the sheer freesia layer, and now I'm going to move on to wisteria, and that is layer 2. So I will just line this up. So we got hit with a foot of snow 2 days ago. I should say 2 nights ago. And tomorrow, it's supposed to get into the 50s. Melt it all away. Makes me happy because I do not like snow. And it's the countdown to spring for me, hence the flowers. So there's the second layer. And it doesn't matter that there's overage because I've already cut it out, and we'll be moving it over to a card base anyway, card panel. So I'll continue to do this off camera, and I'll be right back. Okay, that is the second layer finished. That was wisteria, and now I'm moving on to hydrangea. It's looking pretty already. You can see you can already see depth in these flowers. It's very cool. There's the third layer complete. So I'm going to clean off my stencil because purple and reds always seem to stain really bad. And I'll be right back. And one thing I should have pointed out also is that the flowers are etched into the stencil, and I think you can see that. So I inked in the centers, excuse me, of these flowers with the Simon Says stamp Sunbeam. And it's a little hard to read in the darkest because it comes off as brown, but I like this better than the black, so that's the flowers. Now I'll go ahead, clean this off, and get to the stems. So I'll be right back. Okay, I am starting on the branches, and I am using Sage as my first color. This looks really good. This is the first layer, so the detail layer will be darker. So I'll continue this off camera and be right back. Okay, I've done the second layer of the stems in the eucalyptus and came out really nice. Looks really good. So now we'll make up the second card. So I took a panel and I embossed it with the Spellbinders Sun Rays embossing folder. And before I did that, I cut it down to size and I hit it with some Distress spray in the tumbled glass. And I just wanted a light touch of it. And I don't know why, but I always seem to get a heavier dousing on one corner. Anyway, I've added some Altenew low loft foam tape on there, and I'm going to mount this onto a Yana panel and then put the whole thing on. So I'll go ahead, actually I'll glue the Yana panel on first. And then, oops, woo! I'll clean this up off camera and be right back. Okay. Okay, that's on. So, okay, now I'll go ahead and mount this. And I'll do this off camera and be right back. Okay, I got my panel taped down. And I am going to put my die cut on. I'm going to run another die cut of this for some lift. I'll do that off camera. And that way you don't have to get bogged down with that, but these are the colors that I used for the first die cut. I used this cherry blossom, peony, and begonia. And then I made a second set with a peony, begonia, and mulberry blush. So I took a couple of the die cuts from that second set and overlaid them on here, just to give it a little bit of dynamic, I guess, I don't know, just to give it a little bit more interest. So I will get another die cut for this and be right back. Okay, I've glued extra layer onto there, and that is Spellbinders. It's a Glimmer plate, the Yana's Special Sentiments hot foil and die set. So I will go ahead and attach everything. But that's basically going to be the finished card there. I'll be right back. I need to get my foam squares. You can see that I added another layer to the leaves and trimmed it off so any flowers wouldn't show, because I like giving the leaves a little bit more dimensional. So, and it doesn't bother me that the color is darker. I like it that way. It gives it, I just think it gives it more dimension, and I like that it stands out against the background. It's not, this isn't how the set was intended to be used, but that's okay. You make it your own. It's just one more way of getting more use out of your investment. Okay, that's the first card. And like I say, it's not how the set was intended to be used. It's sort of like the intended use, but not quite. So anyway, I will move on to the next card. So earlier I had inked up another pink version using the Rose Garden family, but instead of starting with the cherry blossom, I started with the peony and begonia and mulberry blush. So I used these three instead of these three as I did on the first one. And these two little flowers are from the first one, which were these three. So anyway, then the third step that I did was with the Napa Valley collection. And I used the sheer freesia, wisteria, and hydrangea. And I had originally had used the sage and eucalyptus greens for the leaves, but it just didn't give me enough life. And these are from the Green Gables collection, by the way. So I added spruce tips with the sage, and it just really makes it pop all the more. So I like that much better. Anyway, so I'm going to put this together now. If you get some white edges, I just go over it with my brush just to finish it off, much like you would if you had a die cut with the black stamping. You would go over that with your black marker if it wasn't complete. So I just go over that lightly with the I usually do it on the back side just to get the crevices, the inside cuts. Like, I don't know if you can see that little itty bitty bit of white there. So I would just try to hit it on the back side and take care of it that way. So I'll go ahead and get a background for this, and I will be right back. So what I've decided to do is go with a layout of this nature. So I need to run another set of the purple flowers because this is really pink with a purple overlay. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I've already cut them out, and I will get started inking up. So I'll do this off camera because you already know the process, and I will be right back. Okay, that finishes off the 3 cards, and they're three very different looks. You can see where I have added some bling to the cards, and both of these cards use the same Spellbinders embossing folder, and the 3rd card I use the Honeybee Stamps burlap embossing folder, which gives it a really cool appearance. It makes the card panel look like it's been painted or something, but it's really just the cardstock. Anyway, I hope you like this video, and if you do, please give us a thumbs up. I'll have all the products listed below, and thank you for watching.